Hey there everybody. So today we're going to be looking at the Guild Wars 2 Engineer, kind of a leveling guide. This video was requested by one of our Twitch viewers by the username of Uncrit. So let me explain this little layout here. This is an online builder tool which I will leave a link to in the description. Pretty much you select your profession and your race. I didn't select a race because I'm not going to be using any race specific skills because this is going to be more of a general build for everybody. We have it set to PVE mode, you can set it to World v World or PvP mode, they all have different settings. So as you can see here, I have the pistols, main hand and offhand set, and these here are our utility skills. We have the Elixir H as our healing skill, rifle turret, Elixir gun, flame turret, and supply crate. And if you look down here, you have your conditions. These are conditions that you can do with these weapons and everything that's set up right here. Like if you change weapons, this will change. So basically, like all the conditions you do here through your specializations, you go to by clicking on this tab, actually count here as well. And these are the boons that you can apply to yourself and allies. And if you hover over them, it actually tells you what reduces these conditions and boons, and combo effects and so on and so forth. These stats right here you can kind of ignore for right now, because this is set to level 80. So as you can see here, it's more of a condition build. With the pistols, they are a little bit of a longer range and everything like that, so you're going to get more out of the pistols, than you will the rifle, because if you use the rifle, you don't really do that many conditions, and it's kind of bleh compared to the pistols. The first few levels are going to be just you wandering around the map, picking up waypoints, stuff like that, doing, you know, your beginning story and everything. And as you go the first couple of levels, you unlock, you know, your weapon skills and things like that. Things don't really start to pick up until about like level 9 is where the guide's kind of starting at. And the reason I say level 9 is because it unlocks the gathering component of the game, to where you get gathering tools and you can actually harvest, you know, ores and trees and things like that. Kind of why that's important is when you're starting out, you're not really going to be doing like your crafting and stuff like that right away unless you want to. It's going to take longer if you do crafting and exploration, but you can do both. It'll definitely help with gaining levels and everything like that, but while you're out running around collecting waypoints and vistas and things like that, when you run into, you know, ores, trees, plants, and things like that, you should go ahead and harvest them as you're going along. You kind of want to collect as many as possible. Like, I wouldn't say go out of your way to collect them, but just, you know, as you're exploring the map and exploring the world and everything, collect them as you go. That way you don't have to go out and specifically look for items and grind picking them up to be able to level up your crafting later. After level 9, the next kind of milestone I guess I want to talk about is level 11. Level 11 is when you unlock your first utility skill, and when that happens, I would recommend going into your training tree and go straight for the elixir gun, because at level 11 you should have 11 to 13 hero points from exploring the map and from the level 11 plus 5 that you get. So you should have enough to get the elixir gun. It gives you a whole bunch of other conditions. It's also a range of 900, and then this one skills range of 450. You do get, you know, a remove condition thing, and it's really handy. It goes great with this build. It does a lot of conditions, a lot of damage, and that's what you want. Okay, next would be level 15. You'll get your second utility skill, which I would recommend going into the rifle turrets. So first you'll want to buy, in that tree, you'll have to buy the healing turret, but I would still kind of stick with the Elixir H unless you are running with a party. You'll have to get the healing turret, and then you'll scale into the rifle turret, and then you'll also scale into the flame turret. Now, the rifle turret is going to cost you 4 hero points. That's 2 for the healing and then 2 for the rifle. Your flame turret, which comes next at level 19, will be 3 extra hero points. So that's going to be 7 hero points into your turret tree to get both of those turrets. Now level 21 is when you start unlocking your specializations. And what I recommend starting with is your firearms. And the second one will be your inventions, which is why I say you don't need the turrets until later. At level 21, this is going to increase your condition damage. So you start out with sharpshooter, gives you bleeding. Your next one should be chemical rounds. Your pistol skill have increased condition duration. Next you get thematic focus, which increases your critical chance. You gain condition damage based on your precision is pinpoint distribution. That's going to be what you want next. You want the two top ones here. Next, what you get is serrated steel. Bleeding you cause lasts longer. And then your third selectable one that you want here is modified ammunition. Increases damage for each condition on a foe. So as you're leveling up, you get items through the different levels. I will actually link a wiki page below that shows what you gain at each level. Pretty much, just whenever you get an item, if it says precision or condition damage or precision and condition damage, anything like that, you want to get that one as your reward. So after level 21, you don't really get anything too special until level 31. That's when you get your elite skill. When you hit level 21, dump all of your points into your firearms. And then save all of your points from 21 to 31 to put into your supply crate. That means you'll have all of your skills. This will be just about done. It'll be almost there. Between 31 and 45, you want to take all of those points that you earn and finish filling up your firearm tree. Because at level 45, you get your next tree unlocked, which you should use as Inventions. Because Inventions helps out a little bit more than alchemy does. And this is where turns become really important. Your first thing that you get automatically is cleansing synergy. Using healing skills triggers a cleansing pulse around you. So basically what that means is anytime you use a healing skill like this, it cures all these conditions that are on you. So next thing that you want to pick is all healing skills recharge when struck while you are below the health threshold. The health threshold is 25%. So when you are hit by an enemy, when you're below 25% health, your healing skill refreshes. It does have a cooldown of 120 seconds though. Alright, the next one you automatically get. When you use the healing skill, you apply regeneration to nearby allies. Okay, so next what you get here is one that you can select is experimental turrets. Turrets apply boons to allies around them. And these are the boons that each turret does. The flame turret grants a might, which gives you 90 power and 90 condition damage for 12 seconds. And as long as this turret is out every 10 seconds, it gives you that boon again. Your healing turret grants vigor, which, is why I say that you can use that. But you have a 6.5 second interval to where you don't get vigor from the turret and things like that, but that's fine. Next is the rifle turret, because that's what we're using in our build. It grants fury, 20% critical chance for 6 seconds. So you have a 4-second interval where you don't have fury. So pretty much having the rifle turret out and the flame turret out grants you condition damage and more critical chance. So next, what you get automatically is energy amplifier. Your healing power is increased while you have regeneration. At this point, I would say that it would be a little bit better to switch to your healing turret because it grants regeneration constantly. So you always have regeneration while you're standing within your healing turret's range. Plus it grants you the vigor boon with the experimental turrets. Alright, so your last option here is bunker down. Create a proximity mine and a med kit at your location when you critically hit with an attack. So, since this build is all crit damage and condition damage, you're going to be critting all the time by the time you're level 80. Now, after level 45, you do get, items and things like that, but you don't get your last tree here until level 71. But that's okay, this tree is not too terribly important. You can actually sub this out for something else, but I just kind of like the synergy it has with the Inventions tree here. So first you get Hidden Flask. Drink an elixir B when struck below the health threshold 75%. So when you go down below 75%, you gain Fury, Might, Retaliation, and Swiftness. So next here, what you want to choose is you gain Swiftness, you also gain Vigor, which gives you increased endurance regeneration, so you're going to be able to dodge more. Okay, so the next what you get automatically is Transmute. Incoming conditions have a chance to convert to boons, which is awesome. So every 15 seconds, pretty much, you get a condition that converts into a boon. Your second choosable skill here would be Backpack Regenerator. Regenerate health every second while using a kit. That's awesome. So every second you're getting 117 health. But if you also have regeneration, that's going to increase. So using a kit also means your elixir gun, because the weapon kits do count as kits. Right here you have alchemical tinctures. I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry. But that one, that thing, you can't choose it, you get it automatically anyway. So we're just gonna say what it does. Throwing or consuming elixirs removes conditions from those affected. Your boon duration is increased. Alright, so your last choosable skill here in your tree, the Stimulant Supplier. Drop a stim pack whenever you use a healing skill. Alright, so that means you get an extra healing, and you get extra crit chance from gaining Fury. So as you can see here, it's pretty much you hit things, you crit them, you condition them, they, slowly just die because they have too many conditions and you're gaining too much health for them to kill you. Okay, so next we're going to talk about being level 80 and what kind of gear that you want. So basically, you want Rampager stats, which focus on your precision, and then your power and condition damage second. So your main stat is going to be precision, which will increase your critical chance. And then you'll also be increasing your damage through power and your damage through condition. So that's kind of what you want there. You want your Rampager stats, and then you want Superior Rune of the Thief, which also increases precision and condition damage. When you strike foes from behind or the side, you gain plus 10% damage. That's really good, especially when the mobs do aggro onto your turrets, because they're going to be facing away from you, facing your turret, so you can walk around behind them and or to their side or whatever and get extra damage on them. Your underwater here is going to be Rampager as well, but the sigils you're going to want are 60% chance on critical to do an area poison attack. So pretty much everything in the area is going to be poisoned. And then your accessories are going to be, all Rampager with the Exquisite Coral Jewel, which are pretty much the jewel for Rampagers. For your buffs, I would recommend the Bowl of Fancy Potatoes and Leek Soup, which grants you precision, condition damage, and experience from kills. And over here, I would recommend Maintenance Oil Station. Grant precision equal to 6% of your toughness. Gain precision equal to 4% of your vitality. And 10% kills. So basically, for these sigils, you want the same sigils that are down here. The Superior Sigil of Blight. And then, if you look over at your stats, your power is going to be that right there. Let's see. Condition damage. Not bad. That's actually really good. Let's see, condition duration. Some of these things, some of these factors are not added in, when certain things activate through critical hits and through your specializations tree, things that are activated due to when you have regeneration or when you have this or when you have that, it's not stacked into the stats. So some of these stats will increase while you're in combat. When you hit things, when you crit things, stats will go up. So this is not, what you're looking at in game, what your max stats are going to be, because they will fluctuate while you're in combat. But your critical chance, just base stat with all your gear, your weapons, and your specializations is going to be 83%. So that's really, really good. You're going to be hitting crits like all the time, which is what you want to do. And then when you're in combat, it's going to increase. And when you actually do start getting your ascended gear, that's going to go up. I'm going to be putting a link to the build in the description. That way, when you click on it, it pulls up all of the original settings that I had for this, so you can play around with it, change things, change the weapon, and things like that. One thing I didn't talk about are your F1 through 5 skills. These are not going to be used a whole lot in PvE from my experience, because these are more of when you really need them for PvP and World of Your World. But just a quick overview. This one gives you Vigor, Protection, Regeneration, which is awesome. Removes a condition, does damage, gives you regeneration, does burning in an area of effect, and this one grants healing. So pretty much these are going to be used for your healing, and then these two are going to be just damage, a little bit of extra damage. But you're mostly going to be using the F1, 3, and 5 for healing if you really need it. And these right here are pretty much for your turrets. You know, when you have your turrets out, you can press these and they explode and do damage. So, alright, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about it, or if there's a build that you would like for me to go over, or some options you would like for me to go over for this build, or anything like that, let me know. I will probably be doing a PvP build and a World of Your World build later on, just not right now. What I'm focusing on mainly right now is just PvE, because that's what I'm doing on my stream. If you would like to check out my stream, I am actually leveling a Necromancer from level 1 to 80, doing map completion and things like that. I will have a link to the Twitch in the description below. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.